get to the news. Fox News announced today that it has parted ways with host Tucker Carlson, and last Friday was his final show, which is great, but also unsettling. At least when he had a show, we knew where he was. It's creepy trying to fall asleep with a ventriloquist dummy in your room, but it's way creepier when you wake up and it's not there anymore. Huh, that's weird. Oh my God, is it behind me? Also today, CNN parted ways with anchor Don Lemon amid accusations of sexist behavior. Wow, does anybody have an opening for a sexist? Oh, right. So that would... President Biden is reportedly preparing to formally announce he is running for re-election. If successful, he will be the oldest man. That's it, just the oldest man. That's right, President Biden is reportedly planning to formally announce his re-election campaign as early as this week, which is frankly a little crazy. He's going to be 82. I think you should stop running for president when people start saying young after your age. Joe here, 82 years young. Not only that, the leader of the free world. That's pretty nuts. President Biden met today with 3 Tennessee lawmakers who led gun safety protests at the state capitol. Meanwhile, Ron DeSantis met with the guns. Senate Judiciary Chair Dick Durbin, in a new interview, called for a code of conduct for Supreme Court justices because right now, the only rule is no front flips off the yacht. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy recently declared that September 23rd will be Bruce Springsteen Day, as opposed to Jersey's previous Springsteen Day, all of them. McDonald's has announced it will offer its Big Mac sauce on the side for dipping, or what the hell, soaking. New York officials unveiled a plan today to install 10 miles of bike lanes throughout the city. That story again, New York officials are adding 10 more miles of sometimes car lanes. IKEA announced plans last week to open up 8 more stores across the U.S., or more likely will start to build them, get frustrated, and give up. According to a new study, we've all done it. According to a new study, Americans over 50 who play video games feel overlooked by the gaming industry. For example, there is no option to play Grand Theft Auto with your left blinker on the whole time. That's right, 70% of older Americans who play video games do not feel like products are designed with them in mind because when they tried it, they failed miserably. And that, sadly, because you can't ever predict the future, was our final joke of the monologue. You usually try to close on a banger, and sometimes you close on one that goes like that. President Biden announced today that he is running for re-election. Can you imagine if it's Biden versus Trump again? That's like going into a diner and the only things on the menu are 2-day-old egg salad and Donald Trump. I guess I'll take my chances with the egg salad. President Biden announced today that he will run for a second term and said, quote, "Let's finish the job." Yeah, good idea. It would be nice to have a country where a guy could safely retire before he's 86. Following President Biden's re-election announcement today, the Republican National Committee released an ad that asked, quote, "What if the weakest president we've ever had were re-elected?" And personally, I think it's pretty low to drag Martin Van Buren into this. Life's hard enough with that silly haircut. According to reports, Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott did not tell Tucker Carlson why he was being fired, but said that the decision was made, quote, "from above." But come on, we know all the decisions at Fox News come from below. The Georgia prosecutor investigating former President Trump's alleged interference into the 2020 election said yesterday that she would announce potential charges this summer. I like that we're spreading out Trump's crimes and just like micro-dosing indictments. You know, because like when Netflix drops an entire season at once, sure, it's fun that weekend, but then we have nothing to look forward to. Once a week is way better. It's like Trump's the Abbott Elementary of criminals. A man in Idaho recently set a Guinness World Record after he passed a 40-pound weight from hand to hand 100 times. That story again, not much to do in Idaho. He didn't even know Guinness was there. And they were like, hey, how many times have you done that? A moose. We like it when it starts a moose. A moose recently walked into a movie theater in Alaska and ate popcorn from the trash can, or as Regal Cinemas calls it, a medium. Now, movie theaters, you used to... And finally, a former Disney World employee was recently arrested for allegedly taking videos of women's skirts. To be fair, they should have known something was wrong when he showed up to work with no pants on. After announcing his 2024 re-election campaign, President Biden delivered a speech yesterday about his economic vision for the country. That's right. From now on, the grandkids are getting $6 in their birthday cards. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders endorsed President Biden yesterday and said he will do what he can to make sure Biden is reelected. But if Biden loses, the two of them can always go back to heckling the Muppets. Following recent reports of Justice Clarence Thomas's failure to disclose lavish vacations and gifts from a wealthy Republican donor, the Supreme Court released a 3-page statement yesterday signed by all 9 justices committing to follow, quote, foundational ethics and principles, starting now. I mean now. Okay, now. Damn it, Clarence! That's right. All 9 Supreme Court justices signed a pledge to follow, quote, foundational ethics and principles. Okay, but it wasn't all 9 of them we were worried about. I mean, Elena Kagan's last vacation was to the Lincoln Memorial. Took the bus. In honor of Lesbian Visibility Week, the cast of the L Word Generation Q yesterday visited the White House, said Tucker Carlson to a houseplant. A top aide to Republican presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy said today that he will be polling in 2nd or 3rd place by the end of the year, unless, of course, a 4th person joins the race. The USDA announced yesterday that it is considering making changes to limit the amount of salmonella in some chicken products. I'm sorry, they haven't already? We're also considering a 3 strikes rule if it's secretly a pigeon. You can get away with it twice. Ben & Jerry's co-founder Ben Cohen recently launched a new cannabis line called Ben's Best Blends. Hopefully, it's a lot more popular than Jerowin. It was easy to do because we had a pack lying around. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers reportedly spent a week in Costa Rica at a spiritual healing center before officially signing with the New York Jets, which is like washing your car right before it rains. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos was photographed over the weekend at Coachella, and even he couldn't believe how much they were charging for water. And finally, authorities in Mexico recently seized nearly 12,000 tequila bottles that contained concentrated liquid meth. On the bright side, Margarita Night ended with a completely spotless house. When asked yesterday about his age as he runs for re-election, President Biden said that it doesn't register with him. Okay. I know you're trying to play it cool, but you made it sound like a symptom. My age? I never remember. That's right. When asked about his age, President Biden said, quote, I took a hard look at it before I decided to run, and I feel good. Listen, we don't care how you feel now. Did you see what 8 years did to Obama? If you get reelected, this is what you're going to look like by the end of 2028. President Biden greeted kids today on the White House South Lawn as part of Take Your Child to Work Day. Unfortunately, it was a trap set up by Congress to arrest Hunter Biden. Former President Trump's new book, Letters to Trump, went on sale this week for $95. $95! Let me give you the gist and save you the cash. Dear Mr. President, for the last time, the Grimace cannot attend your inauguration. We hope this will be the final word on the matter. Sincerely, McDonald's. A source recently told People magazine that former President Trump respects and admires former First Lady Melania Trump and wants to make her happy, but he plans to stay married to her anyway. After being fired from Fox News on Monday, Tucker Carlson posted a video last night to Twitter and said, quote, "Where can you still find Americans saying true things?" Well, hell, you've already tried Fox News and Twitter. I'm out of ideas. I don't know, maybe Wall Street? A bipartisan group of senators yesterday introduced the Protecting Kids on Social Media Act, which would set the minimum age to 13 for platforms including Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Wait, you're trying to keep kids under 13 from using Facebook? What's next? You're not going to let them wait in line with you at the bank? Workers in Wales recently misspelled the word school while repainting a section of road. To be fair, this is how you spell school in Welsh. A court in Germany ruled yesterday that the tenants of a building do not qualify for reduced rent because their landlord sunbathed naked in the courtyard. Said the judge, think of it this way, free sundial. Yeah. I don't need your applause. But I stand by that joke. And finally, according to a new report, trained dogs can help detect coronavirus infections in schools. Cats can too, they just won't.